Hey everybody, my name is Nazvela Kamganamaya. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, please make sure that you subscribe and join the rest of the family. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. So guys, a couple of days ago, I came across a video on Facebook highlighting Angelina Jolie's adoption, in particular her daughter that she adopted from Ethiopia, Zahara. So the video was highlighting how the adoption process may have been illegal because apparently the family was not well informed of what is going to happen next, and the fact that Zahara is going to be taken away from them. I'm not sure how they understood the whole adoption process, and it highlighted how to some degree, some family members want the child back. And I think Angelina Jolie adopted the child when she was about 2 or even younger, right? She was very, very young. And now she's probably 17, 18, and the family now wants the child back. But then it also says, no, the mom says she does realize that she cannot give Zahara the life that she's now used to, but she would love to have access to her so that she can better understand where she comes from and so forth. I really enjoyed listening to different views about it. On one hand, people are like, hi, but guys, after all these years, Angelina Jolie, when she got apparently Zahara, she was very sick, malnourished, and the work that had to be done to make sure Zahara is now a healthy baby, it was a lot. And now that Mdala and now older, they want access to her. Some people felt that it was very selfish. And then others were like, no, but to some degree, it's understandable because at the end of the day, that's her family, right? She needs to understand where she comes from and all of that. It was very interesting that I came upon that video because we were going through something very similar. So if you have been following me for quite some time, you would know that I've shared how my mom and I are raising 3 girls. My cousin passed away a couple of years ago, and then we took over, the responsibility of raising the girls. The firstborn came to us when she was 2, and now she is 16, right? And then the middle one came to us when she was about probably 8, if I'm not mistaken. She's now 12. And then the youngest came when she was 6, and now she's probably 9. I'm always mixed up their ages, guys, I'm sorry. So when we took them over, obviously made sure that they have everything that they need. And if you go back to probably a couple of videos ago, I talked about the process of making sure that we provide them with health interventions, psychosocial support, and all of that. We've been through a lot, with them. And in that process, Umama also made sure that she legally, I'll say adopt, but then she became a foster parent, recognized by the law that she's now the legal guardian of these 3 girls. And then I think it was probably about 2 years after they came to live with us and the mom had passed away, we started hearing a couple of rumors, but they were not very strong at first, that the girls have different fathers, by the way. So in particular, the middle one's family wanted to have access to her, right? And I don't want to lie, the first thing that came to our minds is no. When my cousin passed away, you had ample opportunity to possibly take the kid, and now that we've taken over and trying to provide them with the best stable, environment, why do you want to shake that? So I remember even to some extent, Mama, a couple of years ago, we were still in PE. She called me when I was at work, and she was like, listen, I think the family went to contact the social workers, right? That Tina, we don't want them to have access to the child, which was true. I don't want to lie because I'm going to be very transparent in this video. So Mama is being called to the social workers, and apparently it was a very heated conversation. And it went even to the extent that, Tina, we don't want them to have access to the child because we don't want to lose the right to the money of the child. which is ridiculous because the money that we're getting does not even cover basic necessities for the child. Anyway, so as time goes by the way, the people that were mostly in front of the conversation from the other family side were the sisters of the dad. Not in particular the dad. The dad was away. He was incarcerated for a couple of years. So I think also we used that, but guys, this is why we took over, because the dad couldn't. So we like asibazi ababantu, even the child does not know these people. So how can we be expected to just give them access to a child they don't know and we don't know as well? Then it kind of died down, and then the years go by. Then most recently, dad comes back, and mama calls me. Hey, the conversation is growing now, and in particular because the dad is out and the dad wants access to the child. So I'm not sure what rights do we have at this point in time. So into yabo kwala bicala is that we don't want to take the child away from you guys, but we want the child to know where they're coming from. We want to come and visit, or she comes to visit, and all of that. From our side, we like, but guys, we, to some degree, we know how this could pan out badly. Umntana that sometimes has access to many homes, there's a lack of stability that's there. So how do we make sure that they have access to both homes, but then there's still some level of stability that is going to be involved? How do we work well together? Because our past experiences between the two families has not been very well. So how do we keep up with that and making sure that we put the well-being of the child, first? Hi guys, there's a lot of back and forth. But again, at the end of the day, dad is adamant that I want her to know who I am. I'm sure she has many questions about the person that I am. I want to explain that to her. Once again, I know for a fact that I don't want her to leave where she is, but I want access. Thina kwalatikala asizukwazi kaloko. It's either left or right. There's no middle ground. Okay, it's either you leave her with us or you take her. And then we went back to the social workers to better understand what leg can we stand on. We've been taking care of the child for X amount of years. She's stable, she's at school, she just started school this year. So what can we do, Tina? What rights do we have? And the social worker was very transparent, but guys, first of all, the child is 12 years old. By law, the child needs to make the decision. If Nina, as a family, you cannot make the decision. Umntana is going to be asked, which family do you want to go to? Like, uyifuna yaphi, yabona? And whatever she decides, then that's the decision that we are going to go with, right? When Nina, you were assigned as legal guardians of the child, but however, now the father is in the picture and has every right to say, I want my child back. And it becomes more complicated because if you want to really dissect our relation to the cousin, we're not blood cousins. Where at some point in time she used our surname, the kids are using our surname, but mostly it was done with the intention of she doesn't have any documentation when she moved in with us. So it was more easy for my mom to go to the Home Affairs and legally adopt her or become a legal guardian. But then if you go back, okay, how do you actually, like, how are you related? We're actually not even that related. It's just that I think her mom and my mom grew up together, and that's how she got to know us and all of that. So basically what the social worker is saying, but okay, since you guys can't decide and work together, then the child needs to choose. Although there's some level of hesitancy from my side, but this kid is 12. And also, what due diligence have we done to make sure that, okay, if the kid decides to go with the other family, is that family conducive enough for the child's growth and stability? Like, that was not done. So I guess also, though, I don't blame the child at the end of the day, because I could see it from her face, the excitement of getting to know a father that she does not know, or she never got the opportunity to know. And I actually went back even to my own childhood, where I think if my father had come back to my mom after years of absence and say, no, I want 50-50, right? I want to know that to spend 50% of her time at my house, right? I think I would have actually leaned towards that, because it's that excitement of getting to know something you don't know, right? And also, having known my dad and the dynamic between my mom and my dad, umama is more strict. Umama does not shy away from her nose, right? And utado on the other side, I knew I could get away with murder. Kids are like that, right? So any place where they cannot be freely who they want to be to some degree. Ekaya, for example, I know the girls grew up the way I did. You can't go around doing what you want. You go to school, you come back, you concentrate on your books, you don't go around gallivanting, sleeping in people's houses, sleep over. What's that? Mom doesn't understand that. So there's a level of freedom that you don't have in our household that most probably she thinks that she's going to have at the other home. It's understandable. So at the end of the day, she decided no, she wants to go, to the other family. We were heartbroken. Okay? My mom was heartbroken, because once again, the first thing that comes to our minds, after all these years though, after like imisebenzi engaka, sikhulisa umntu, and then they are just taken away like that. Now, I introduced this story briefly a while ago, and I was so overwhelmed when I would receive messages from people going through the same thing. I went through the same thing with my stepson, my stepdaughter. I am raising my late sister's children, and this is one of the things that I fear. This is what happened when my brother's kids were taken away from me. I just wanted to understand, I wonder if there's something that we could have done better to prepare ourselves and the child if something like this could have happened. Because as far as I can remember, we've never had a conversation where we talk about the other side of the family. We've never had a conversation where we talk to her about her, her father. We've never had that, because we under the illusion, no, she'll never leave. This is it. I'm wondering if we could have handled even the situation better. I think we were all emotional about the fact that, once again, you can't come after so many years when we needed you, when the mom passed and you didn't come forward, knowing very well she had passed. What were you thinking all these years, umdana upi? What did you think, where did you think she was? What did you think she was eating? I think we were honestly in our feels, no guys, you can't do that. I think we could have handled it better, okay, maybe you can come and visit, or you can have supervision when you're visiting, whatever the case may be. I think we were very emotional. We just closed the door. Because of that, we definitely shoot ourselves in the foot, because now we lost the girl. And there's no communication in terms of, oh no, she can come through. It's all closed off. And so I'm doing this video because you may be someone that has adopted a child. I follow a couple of people on social media that have adopted children. We are African people where your child is my child. A relative passes away, you pick up the responsibility of raising that child. If such conversations, or if such an incident might happen where a couple of years later the mom or the father wants access to the child, that you have been raising all this time. Or the child themselves, they say, I appreciate what you have done for me, but at the end of the day, I want to know where I come from. I want to know who birthed me. I want to know why they abandoned me. You know, all of those things. How would you handle such a situation? And also, I would love to hear from you what we could have done better. Because God forbid, we have two others whose family we don't know. They might rock up and say, hey, we want access to the child. We want the child back. I don't think my heart could handle it. I don't think my mom would be able to handle that. But we just need to prepare ourselves. So I would love to hear from you, because these are the realities of raising, you know, children, in particular children that are not yours. There are possibilities like this. Which brings me now to the other topic at hand. A lot of you have been asking where Ims is. So Ims is my brother's daughter. She is 4. For the whole of last year, she was staying with Sku and I. You would know her obviously from my YouTube videos. So Ims is not coming back. You know, she's not coming back to Joburg, as she calls it. So let me actually even go back. The reason why we took Ims to come and live with us, because one, it's just the two of us here in Joburg. So we definitely needed that distraction, you know, until God blesses us with our own, right? So we took her in, but also you would remember I shared about how mom had COVID, and it was very scary. She was admitted to hospital, and it was just a scary experience. And it was during that time where a lot of people were losing their parents due to COVID. A lot of things were running through our minds is with the girls, because the girls are living with my mom in Port Elizabeth. If anything had to happen to my mom, what the hell is going to happen? We just need to think about the next steps. And then it started, you know, igniting a conversation about, hey, yeah, we need to divide the responsibilities here. And that is how Ims came to live with us, just to get used to the idea of having someone, a little one, around the house. Do you get what I mean? But mostly also just to provide her with what we think, you know, are good opportunities, you know, this side in terms of school and all of that. I don't want to lie, it was not an easy transition. In fact, I remember the first video where I introduced to Imi. There was a comment on the comment section, and back then I thought this person was just being a hater, and the comment was, it must be very difficult to take a child away from their parents. And I was like, what do you mean? Imi is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. Imi is gonna have a good time. She's gonna have opportunities. She's gonna come to Joburg. Everything is gonna be good, right? But we always have trouble when during school holidays or when we go back to PE and she spends time with her parents and then she needs to come back to Joburg. Oh my word. It is like, it would always be a hassle because she doesn't want to leave. Naturally so. She wants to stay with her parents, she wants to stay with the other siblings. Yes, she definitely has a good time in Joburg. She's the only child, she's spoiled. But once again, every time she goes to PE and need to come back, it will be the same story every time. That is why we always make sure that her stays are not long in Port Elizabeth. So she is aware that she's gonna come back. But I think now in December, during the December holiday, she spent like 2 months. Right, because I sent her back like beginning of December, and then now it was the end of, you know, January. That's a whole 2 months where she's already now accustomed once again to that environment where she has both her mom and dad. She has a new sibling, by the way, a little sister. So all of that she enjoys. So when I called, I'm like, lady, you need to come back. Yeah, you need to come back. You need to come in and start school. Oh my word, she will cry hysterically. And then the other thing is that Imi is very bright. Imi is very smart and very manipulative. Those little rascals are very, very smart, very clever, very manipulative, okay? So in PE, she has her grandmother from her mom's side, my mom, her grandmom from the father's side, and then she has her parents. So she's mostly rotated in between the 3 homes. So she's always like on the road, and she enjoys that, right? And in particular, between the grandmothers, there is a level of leniency that she doesn't get, particularly when it comes to me. With me, there's structure. Okay, you need to go to school. When you need to go to bed, there's a certain time. No, I'm watching TV, I'm watching this, and I'm like, lady, it's 7 o'clock now, you need to go to bed. Okay, because when I go, you don't want to wake up in the morning. Every morning, same amount, like at same exact time, you need to wake up. This is what you need to do. Like at this time you need to go there, you need to do this. Where I don't think she was used to the routine. With the grandmother, she gets what she wants. I don't want to lie. Oh mama, she doesn't have that time. Once she starts like hysterically crying, oh mama can't handle that, she gives her what she wants. So I think that's also part of the reason where she's like, she probably thinks Unozi is very strict, because the dad asked her, hey Wena, why don't you want to go to Joburg? And apparently she said, no, but Unozi doesn't want to, she doesn't want me to do this and that, right? Which is true. There needs to be discipline, there needs to be structure for her while she's still young, so that she can get accustomed to that. But we spoke with her parents, and making sure that she now gets a new school, and then possibilities that she might come back, maybe next year, maybe the year after. We don't know, right? But I don't want to lie, shame. Yeah, no, it was a lot, because now I felt like a lot of things were being taken away from me. As I've said, the story with the one of the girls, and now me, and a whole lot, you know, that is happening around our lives. It took me a while to get used to that. I was in my feels about to me. Probably to some extent I still am, but at the end of the day, we need to do what's best, for Eames. So Eames is not coming back. Yeah, I'm sad about that. To some degree, I was like, you know what? I should leave people's babies alone. Leave people's babies alone, because those babies always go back to their parents. You have already built a relationship, a bond with them. They will leave you hanging. Okay, have your own kids. I can't, guys. So yeah, for people that have been asking where Eames is back with her parents in Port Elizabeth. And yeah, that's that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, bye.